everybody! Welcome! How you doing? Welcome to another Outdoors live stream. I will pretty much give this a few minutes, but there is a main topic. I've been thinking pretty much the last couple days what the new main topic's gonna be. And I think for this week, since we're entering pretty much the new month, I think this topic is pretty much more sufficient. So with that being said, I'll give this a few minutes, and the main topic for today will be, does privacy and security really matter in 2020? So we'll get to that topic in just a few minutes. Also, just letting you all know, if you need to contact me, just message me on Discord. I'll be happy to reply. And also, make sure you subscribe that button and keep a lookout for the newest content coming soon. Later this upcoming month, I will be releasing the second episode of Linux History Shorties, the Linux Kernel. So, keep a lookout for that. Hey, William, how you doing? Okay, let me get a drink here. Alright. Oh, that's good, William. Okay. So yeah, today's topic is, does privacy and security matter in 2020? That's what we're going to be talking about in just a few minutes. Oh, that's good, William. That's nice. Yeah, I can see your point, William, but there are valid reasons to still consider privacy. I will be explaining as to why in just a little bit. Okay, people, just letting you all know, besides the Linux History Shorties, I don't know what the next
Watch where you're walking going back in here, because there's poop and puke.
Oh, okay.
Me and your dad are leaving. We're going to a few places. We'll be back.
Okay. Okay, sorry about that, people. My family was talking to me, so. Okay, we are just about ready to start. Okay, we have reached the 5-minute mark. It's time to get to work on our main topic. So today's main topic is, does privacy and security matter in 2020? Okay, basically to me, as a privacy activist who's been a privacy activist since 2018, I do still think privacy and security matter, only because there is still a whole bunch of corporations and people gathering your data without your acknowledgement or your express written consent. Now, why do I say all these things? Well, the top big companies are still collecting data about you, about family, about everybody. Microsoft, Google, Mozilla, and basically, let me think, what other two are notorious? Facebook, and last but not least, Verizon. Those are pretty much the big five in my opinion. So essentially, all these companies are just harvesting your data, harvesting everything about you, so that basically when you come to one of these services, you'll pretty much have a better user experience with the service you choose. That is not, to me, a user experience. That is pretty much stealing data, and all these companies, in my personal opinion, should be held accountable for that. They need to be held accountable for their actions. And another thing, I don't think any company should have the right to get your data, period. No company should have the right to know who you are, and what you do. Which is why I say we need laws and regulation in this country that specifically state, hey, you can't have my data unless I say you can have my data. It's that simple. Express written consent into law is the only way we're going to be able to get this shit done. It's just that simple. Because the thing is, while all these big companies are just gloating in their money, we're over here struggling because of certain situations that are beyond our control. That's just how I'm gonna say that. For the situation we're currently in, which I refuse to say its name. But other than that, yeah, laws and regulation to fix this broken shithole that I like to call companies getting our data without our express written consent is the only way we're going to fix this problem. And once we do fix these issues, these companies will be put in their places, and they will know not to break any type of laws regarding taking said data. Whether it's a password, whether it's financial information, whether it's any form of personal information, very deep personal information. These companies will know. These companies will honestly know by the end of this that they shouldn't do what they're doing. Hugest example, Microsoft. Windows 10 is basically the best operating system out. No. I may use Windows 10 for a whole bunch of purposes. But the thing is, Windows 10 still collects so much data. I mean, if you look back at Switch to Linux's video from several years ago, just take a look at how much the basic information plan of Windows, just look at how much that data that collects. That's basic. It collects so much data. And another example I can give out. The Cambridge Analytica incident. Look what happened to that. So many accounts compromised. And I blame Facebook completely for it, even though they're denying it. I mean, to me, this is just my opinion, Mark Zuckerberg should be in jail for what he's done. I mean, that's just my opinion. One other thing I would like to say about Microsoft, though, is I will say if Bill Gates was still in charge, Microsoft would at least have some dignity to not play around with their customers' data. They would at least have some dignity not to do that. For Verizon, AOL, Yahoo are now Oath. Basically, they're data harvesters too. And, I mean, Verizon used to be a good company years and years ago. But now that they're part of Oath, they're just data harvesters. That's just it. But basically, my honest point here is, does privacy and security matter 2020? Yes, it does. And it's because of shitty companies like I mentioned. Shitty companies that should be put in their places with laws and regulations. This way, in this way, incidents like Cambridge Analytica and things that go in the background, like in Windows 10, don't happen again. This is why I have, as a privacy activist, have told many people, instead of passwords, use past sentences. Past sentences is basically like a sentence, a paragraph, that's 10 characters or more. It will save your ass better than a normal password with letters and numbers. That's pretty much one of the things I learned from my experience. Another thing that I do to guard my privacy? Simple. I switch to Linux. Linux is better for privacy. It is better for security because Linux does not collect data. And even if it does collect data, it is nowhere near as hazardous as the companies I mentioned earlier. Not even close. One other thing I do as a privacy activist, besides using Linux, besides using past sentences, is when I do make accounts of social networks, I only put on there as minimal information as I can. I don't put my phone number on the internet. Because I consider the phone number to be the fountain of youth of data collection. Because if somebody has your phone number, they have literally access to everything and anything that you can pretty much do. So essentially, what I'm getting at here is don't put your phone number online. use past sentences instead of just a normal password. Just a basic just a pretty long sentence, 10 characters or more. And use Linux for your abilities and executions to get your real work done. Use Linux for your business. Use Linux for your financials and your personal data and your personal life. It will save you time. It will save you hassle. I've been using Linux full time for over 2 years, and I've learned so much from the Linux community. So basically, I'm not saying don't use Windows. I'm saying use Windows with the utmost caution. If you're going to use Windows, use the best antivirus and the best privacy and security software that's built for Windows. This way, Windows doesn't collect your data. That's how I use my Windows system. But anyway, basically to end this conversation, I'll just say this for the record. Privacy and security is very most a factor in 2020. It is of the utmost importance that we practice how to better our privacy and security. So basically, these are pretty much my tips to all of you to better your privacy and security. Instead of passwords, use past sentences. A very long sentence of 10 characters or more. Number 2, use Linux as much as you can. Number 3, if you're going to use Windows, use really good antivirus and privacy and security software. Number 3, use FOSS applications, free and open source software. There's a whole bunch of it for Linux. There's a whole bunch of it for Windows. Use as much of it as you can. And I think finally, my final tip, and most important of all, do not put your phone number on the internet. It is the gateway to a disaster waiting to happen. That's all I have to say about that. And those are pretty much my tips and my discussion on does privacy and security matter in 2020? Of course it does. Hey, silly bad boy. How you doing, buddy? You just caught the tail end of my conversation. If you wanna re-listen to it, you can rewind back to it. Okay. I think I'll give this a couple minutes and then we'll wrap things up. I appreciate you all watching. If you want to see more live streams just like this, then you can smash that like button and support my channel. Thank you. Basically, I did the Open Mandriva install many months ago, silly bad boy. I just haven't changed the title for this live stream yet. I'll do it once I stop the recording. Basically, today's discussion was, does privacy and security matter in 2020? That's what I should have put there. But I'll fix that once the stream is over. Also, people, just letting you all know, for those who don't know, I have a TikTok now, which is almost 400 followers. If you want to see some different content, you can check out my TikTok at Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88, of course. Also, you could find me on Discord at Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88, and I'm still on MeWe. I have never left MeWe, it's just I don't use it as much as I used to. Okay, I think I'll give this about 5 minutes and we'll wrap this thing up. As for the next outdoors live stream, people, I don't know what the topic's gonna be about that. I'm gonna have to sit down and think about it. But I think next time what we might do is I think what we'll do is, let me think here. I think the next outdoors live stream is going to be pretty much just about theming. Basically theming and how you customize your Linux layout. I think that's a good discussion. Oh, me and Ben still talk a lot. He's still messing with his Gen 2 and stuff like usual. But yeah, basically, the next outdoors live stream is going to be, the topic's going to be, how do you theme your desktop? I think that's a good idea. It'll be a good change of pace from what I usually talk about. Oh, okay. Okay, bad boy. Well, you do what you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do. If the program's giving you problems, just switch to something else. I mean, that's what I would do anyway. Okay. Alright, we got a 2-minute warning here, people, and then we'll wrap things up. I gotta get some chores and stuff done. I use Audacious. Audacious has been working for me just fine. I either use Audacious or I use MPV. One or the other. Okay. Alright. Alright, I think it's time for us to wrap things up here, people. I appreciate you all coming. Once again, if you wanna rewatch the discussion, you can rewind it if you want to. Otherwise, I'll have this posted, and I'll have this live stream adjusted in a couple hours to where it needs to be. And with that being said, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88 saying see you later. Thanks for watching.